So what I've got here is a movie clip symbol that I want to export as a GIF. Now, how do you do that from Flash? Because it works fine. Anything that you export as a GIF from the main stage should work fine. But as a movie clip, it doesn't play on the main stage, so it doesn't export fine. It only exports it as a as a still frame. So we want it to export as it plays like this. Now the way we do this is we're going to select our movie clip, and if you know of any other way, whoever's watching, go ahead and just place it in the comments, and I'll take a look at it and post another video if you can do it directly from Flash. If not, this way works perfectly fine. I'm going to hold right click on this movie clip, so I want to make sure I retain all my information regarding this, so when it plays as a GIF on the web, it'll play something like this. So, or exactly like that. I'm going to hold right click on this object, and I'm going to export PNG sequence. And I'm going to call it lightning. And make sure it's a file format as a PNG sequence. Obviously it will be, because that's what you clicked on, and hit save. And go ahead and hit export once you like these settings. It'll export the sequence, and now I want you to open it up in Photoshop. And in here, just click on the very first image sequence, the image of the image sequence, and make sure you click this little image sequence box, and go ahead and click open. The frame rate will be at 24 frames per second. That's what the frame rate is. I animated it in Flash, so that's the frame rate I want to import it in, or open it up at in Photoshop, and click OK. Now when I hit play, there it is. So I'm going to create a new layer, and I'm going to I'm creating this layer simply so it's easier to see in the web browser when we get it out as a GIF and ready for web. And I'm going to call this background lightning GIF. I'm a big stickler for keeping my layers named. So I've got my lightning and my lightning GIF and my background here. And on my background, going to just paint it black with the paint bucket tool, and now we can see it a little bit easier. So from here, what I want to do is run a file, because everything's playing fine and working fine here. File, export, but instead of export as, we're going to do this, save for web legacy. Save it as a GIF, and make sure this is GIF, and the rest should be fine. We shouldn't have to change any other settings, and click save. Now from here, make sure you name it. Make sure you name it, and under format, save it out as HTML and images. So make sure this is both, so you can save it for internet, and the HTML code knows where to pull the images from. So make sure you have the images and the HTML. Settings, default settings works totally fine. Go ahead and click save. GIF lightning.html, and there we go. Now one more thing to keep in mind, that export save for web legacy. Down here you can change the looping to once or forever or other. Play 5 times. Click OK. And now you can also do this. Save, and I'll call this GIF 5 lightning. So this is, in my terms here, this is just playing once. This will play 5 times, and I'm going to click OK, HTML and images. Okay, now in here in my Finder, I'm going to open with my web browser. I don't know why, but Google Chrome has worked perfectly fine up till today, and I've been using the same computer for all of these videos. For whatever reason, it's just not working. So I'm going to open with Firefox, and there it is. It just played 5 times and stopped and worked perfectly fine. Let's try I know I had an issue earlier with this because it was trying to pull open the same thing, and it worked fine before in Google Chrome, but now let's see if it'll just play once. That plays just once. So it is working totally fine, exactly how it's supposed to, reading the script. And yeah, if I were to file, export, save for web legacy, let's do this one more time. And instead of other, let's do forever. So we've done once, we've done an other, and let's do forever. So now let's click save, and infinite lightning. Okay, infinite lightning, and I'll put GIF in front of it as my prefix basically. GIF infinite lightning. Hit save. Go back in the Finder. Open with Firefox, and there it loops forever. And if I zoom out, there's the image sequence that we exported out of Flash as a PNG sequence into Photoshop, then exported from Photoshop after adding a background, exporting out of Photoshop, and instead of doing an export as, we did save for web legacy and made sure it was a GIF and made sure we saved out the HTML and images. So that's how you get a movie clip exported out from Flash as a GIF ready for the web. Thanks for watching.